could do my, okay, fix my hair a little bit. Okay, let me see. I'll take one at this point because it's kind of late. 1, can I get another person in the audience? 2, can I get a third person? Can I get a third person? Third person, let me wave at the peoples. Third person. All right, I'm going to wait. Oh, damn. Okay. So I got my 3 people, so I'm sick and tired being sick and tired. God dang. Mystical spoke that stuff when I was a little kid, and now you're seeing everything coming into light. And we definitely got to get our lighters up, for real. We have to get our lighters up because death always happened in 3. First, I believe it was Breonna Taylor. Then it was Ahmaud Arbery down in the South. Now we got George Floyd. Them motherfuckers are on my neck. Now, how you gonna put your elbow or your knee on somebody's neck when they already like handcuffed? That's like an oxymoron. So let me talk about it. Talk about how I feel about the whole thing. First off, this is nothing but Ferguson 2020. Canfield Green Apartments, Ferguson by Jason's, a couple of liquor stores, all this other stuff. So the reason that St. Louis is so familiar with this whole thing because we saw this happen within Mike Brown, in which all these events are very sad. Chain events are sad. So you got Sean Bell, Amadou Diallo, we got Oscar Grant, you got Vondaire Myers, you got Anthony Lamar Smith, you have, how many other people who got wrongfully killed by police or someone that's not of a melanated race. So when I was in a watch party with my family, I'm seeing all the protests. Minnesota burnt down an auto zone, so did St. Louis. But they burnt down a police station. People ain't playing no more. People are getting sick and tired of being sick and tired at this moment. So I usually go with my usual intro, but since this is like a strong topic, I suppose that I'm going to do something different. So I am Jay Lavonne. I got the Red Cup brewing and everything. Red Cup was brewing all like in the last 2-3 hours. So I thought about what I wanted to talk about before going live and everything, and I felt that it was a perfect time to go live instead of like letting it go. So it's like a debate with the whole protest thing. Do you do a peaceful protest? Do you do a riot like everybody been doing? Now, what's so crazy is that a lot of these peaceful protests that they've been doing, like with different crimes or whatever, they're not that damn publicized. Last publicized peaceful protest was for Anthony Lamar Smith, was when they did the peaceful protest at St. Louis Galleria Mall, those who are not from St. Louis. But you see a whole lot of riots going on. Like I said, like the time when Jason Stockley was acquitted with Anthony Lamar Smith back in a few years ago, like several years ago, I was at a bar kicking it with my girlfriends on the Delmore Strip. Like a block up the street was at UC Loop. That's when they did all that protest. You remember all the police were standing up like RoboCop? I'm not laughing, but the policeman was standing. You see the police was standing like RoboCop when they was turning the whole loop up and everything. You know Red Cup, right? So, with all this stuff going on, which is better, a peaceful protest or a riot? Both have their pros and cons. A peaceful protest because they all stand in solidarity, and sometimes when you want your voice to be spoken, you got to be quiet. So a peaceful protest, they say, hey, we here, we want to be heard, but we're going to take different approach. But sometimes when you quiet, it does not work. And sometimes shit ain't going to work unless you break a couple of things. So the riots, yeah, they've been loud, they've been rambunctious and everything, but this country was found on riots. Boston Tea Party. This country was found on blood, sweat, tears, sex, drugs, and motherfuckers who don't want to pay taxes at the moment. So with the whole protest thing going on, whole riot thing going on, I agree with it, but I don't agree with it because, so I wouldn't want to go around tearing stuff up, especially if the stuff ain't mine. But however, it seems like the more crazy stuff you do, the more rage that you oppose, you get hurt more. Like it's like people want to test other people crazy all the time. And then you want to label that person of having mental disorders like bipolar, schizo, whatever. Not knowing that it could be possibly just a simple PTSD moment from traumatic moments. Black people, we've been having PTSD after slavery. Yep, all black people got PTSD mentally because our ancestors been through a lot when it comes to slavery and stuff. And I'm not laughing, it's just that I got high cheekbones. So please don't think that I'm laughing about it. I'm just like doing different metaphors, so follow me please. So with black people having PTSD, in a series of traumatic events that happen to an individual, right? Do you think that people are not going to do something about it eventually? You can do all that peaceful stuff that you want, but if you put a person back up in the corner, people are going to do what they have to do because you backed up in the corner, you have nothing to lose. It's either you or them. Like Tupac said, to bomb first. It's either my life or your life, and the nigga bomb first. So with that being said, how do you protect your family? How do you protect yourself? How do you protect your friends? How do you protect your spouse? Because as soon as you walk up out that door, it's like Russian roulette. You don't know if you're going to come home alive. You don't know if you're going to come home dead. You don't know if you're going to come home amputated and stuff, you know. So each day, that's why this whole thing, especially with black people, I don't know what white people do because I'm not white. Although I do have whites in my family. All I know is black people sometimes, before we go out the door, before we go to bed, before we do anything, pretty much, especially if you were raised Baptist, you are taught to pray. You're taught to pray for God to protect you, your soul, and your loved ones. You're taught to pray because you're never going to know what's going to happen. And you need grace of God to protect you way in advance. So with that being said, with this whole thing with George Floyd, I'm not surprised. And I wasn't going to say anything about it because sometimes when you talk, that don't do nothing. Like I said in one of my Facebook status, it's okay to be enraged. It's okay to feel sad because you think of that as one of your loved ones. You think of that as yourself pretty much. But what good is your voice if you're not trying to be a solution, but be part of the problem? In a way, the riots, I hate to say it, but it's part of the problem. Because when you riot and you turn down these companies, you're not only fucking up your resources, you're fucking up everybody's resources, and you're also fucking up the economy and fucking up with people's jobs and their livelihoods just because you're enraged, you want to tear some people places. Like I say, I'm like on the fence about the riot because I see what riots does. Riots, you do something loud, you scream loud, you're going to get hurt. No matter how loud you are, you're going to get hurt. You're going to eventually get hurt. Red cut, right? But with the riots going on, you turn up these buildings, you're messing up the economy. You're messing up with people's livelihoods. You're messing up folks with jobs and whatnot. Do you think about where people are going to find a job after you tore down that particular building? And it's okay not to agree. That's why I open my platform, because I'm a person, you can agree or disagree with me. You are messing up different jobs when you tear up buildings. Have you ever think about their security, their home security at home, how they're going to feed their families? I'm not saying I'm against the riots. I'm just saying like pros and cons between the quiet protest and the riots. They're both, I don't think, it's like lately, I don't think the quiet protests have been kind of effective, just because quiet protests to me, I kind of compare that to turning the other cheek. When somebody hits you, this cheek, you do this. And you remain meek, you remain humble. But black people, to me, we've been meek for too damn long. And that's why I say the black race within itself, we have PTSD. We're not bipolar. We're not crazy. We're just, it's like each thing we go on is going to affect you, good or bad. Good, bad, that happens to you, it makes an impact in your life. It really makes an impact in your life, and that's what most of us do not think about day by day. I say us, I mean myself sometimes. You don't know what you're going to do, good or bad, until that chick named Karma comes, you know. Karma has no name. Karma has no race. Karma has no look. Karma don't give a fuck. Karma, when she coming, she coming. She ain't gonna call you, let her know she's on her way. She ain't gonna sit there and warn you or nothing. And yes, I really do understand that we are tired of people killing us for nothing. Like I said at the very, very beginning, we sick and tired of being sick and tired. Because black people, we are very much sick and tired of being sick and tired. All this stuff going on. We don't know whether to hug our boys or put a fucking life jacket around our boys because black men are becoming distinct. Because of the fact that they look like they could be a threat. I'm sorry, it's not my fault. Somebody look like a threat, you go away. But apparently these cops keep on killing and killing and killing because they think, okay, if one get away with it, they all get away with it. And that's what's been going on. It's been police brutality way before Mike Brown. It's just that Mike Brown punched us a little bit because Mike Brown is St. Louis. Mike Brown is from Normandy. There's a bunch of people from St. Louis, and there's quite a few people from Normandy. So it affected us as community. When Mike Brown happened, it hit home for us because of Normandy. Because of, I am definitely Normandy strong, by the way. So with that whole thing going on, it's sad. You don't know whether to buy guns, life, bulletproof vests. I'm not laughing, but it's like the irony of it's like, if it looks like I'm laughing, it's like the irony of the whole thing that's going on. Some black people say we shouldn't be rioting. Some black people say burn that shit down. And some shit needs to be burned down. What's good at those buildings? You could rebuild a building, but you can't bring a life back. And that's what a lot of black people, African Americans, are getting tired of. Hell, white people getting tired of stuff because it makes some white people look bad. Like, white people don't even claim the crazy white people. Child, please. Nah, baby, red cup. So, people are being killed for nothing. Just because of that thing called melanin. Allegedly. You have to say allegedly in case some people don't agree. And so another thing that we were taught, hands up, don't shoot. At the time when Darren Wilson got acquitted, I was actually a rent-a-cop, law enforcement. So I firsthand seen how it affected the whole community, having to police people who are melanated like you, telling people not to be all mad and stuff. And it's like, how you gonna tell somebody how to feel? How you gonna tell somebody how not to get mad? You're trying to control somebody. You cannot control nobody's movements, emotions. If a motherfucker want to get mad, let them get mad, because this has been happening time after time after time. Emmett Till, Amala Diallo, Oscar Grant, Sean Bell. Sean Bell was trying to get married that day. Tamir Rice, playing with toy guns. They mistaken him for a gun, so they shot him. 12 years old, didn't even go to middle school, didn't even have a chance to go to prom. But they shot him. Trayvon Martin, all he was trying to do is get some Skittles and some Arizona iced tea. He didn't get to enjoy those Skittles and Arizona iced tea. Just because some big ass, fat ass Latino thinking that he's white say, oh my God, I see somebody. So you can't walk around with so black men cannot not walk around with hoodies freely after a certain time in the evening. Well, that reminds me of St. Louis County, when you can't drive around certain neighborhoods after 8, 9 o'clock at night, or police will be on the highway waiting for you to do something stupid. Yep. You can't do shit freely, but yet they call this a land of the free. How contradictory. God damn. You know, you really don't know what to say. One moment you want to hate your black man because he cheated on you with some type of Susie. Then you see somebody like George Bell get killed by police and you want to hug that same black man. So you want to say, forget the girl that he cheated on you on. Forget the girl that he cheated on you with. You just want him home and safe so y'all can have some more arguments so you can see him once again face to face. So do you want to stab your black man or do you want to hug your black man? And that's why a lot of platforms are saying that black men are the least loved species, human species, in this whole thing. Like the whole thing of the pandemic. Chinese were kicking black people out. But do you see black people kicking Chinese out of Africa? Chinese are kicking black people out during the pandemic, but I had some fried rice today. I ain't gonna lie. But you see where I'm going with this whole racial bullshit. So, do you forgive your black man for cheating on you with a couple of girls? Or do you hope that he stays alive? Which is, it's like I'm saying that because it's kind of like an oxymoron of all this stuff that's going on with race, all the stuff that's going on with the brutality. Police brutality does not mean that you shoot a motherfucker. Police brutality is any harm that is caused upon a homo sapien by a person of law enforcement. So you really have to really think about what's going on. Like, dang, if I had a boyfriend, I'd be hugging on him right now. But I'm talking with y'all, showing my points of views, using my platform, and putting this shit on YouTube, on my YouTube channel and stuff. So you really have to think. It's like every time you step out the door, hell, you could die in your own house. So every breath that you breathe, every time you open your eyes, close your eyes, open your mouth, whether you're in a house, whether you're outside trying to mind your own business, you're playing Russian roulette with your life. There's a day that you're born, and there's a day that you die. And I've said this in several episodes, and I'll say it again. You have to make that dash between your life and death make sense. What are you going to do? How many times but black women, black moms, black girlfriends, black wives cry for their black man, their black sons, their black uncles, their daddies, the black male homo sapien period? How many of us going to keep on crying? They ain't no good man. They used to say they ain't no good man, good black man, because either he's in jail or he's dead or he's gay. There's no good black men because a lot of good black men probably get shot up by police. The irony of some shit. Golly. Red Cup, right? So, I usually don't do Red Cup Chronicle episodes this late at night, but I just had to get on my couch and talk to y'all about my points of views and everything. And we could all discuss, we could all have debates. Shoot, sometimes it's hard thinking about topics for Red Cup Chronicles. I ain't gonna lie. I've been doing Red Cup Chronicles, we go on Facebook Live for almost 3 years on August 23rd. Hold up. Yeah, 3 years. Because it was 2017. Remember like yesterday. All I'm doing is just speaking on shit that gets on my fucking nerves. And hopefully shit that gets on my nerves, get on your nerves too. Because if everything get on the whole community nerve, guess what? We have full of fire. We are so fucking enraged. We actually want to do something instead of just pillow talking. So, you got to ask yourself, do peaceful protests work or do riots work? I have my ups and downs about both. They both speak volumes. You know, peaceful, let's all come in peace. Let's all come in solidarity. My brother, my sister, my brethren. Riots are like when, alright, so let me give y'all a scenario. So your mom been telling you to clean up your room. Every day she sees your nasty ass room, right? Days go by. Clean up your room. Clean up your room. By that third or fourth day, she gets so tired of you cleaning your room, she whips your ass because she told you more than once, clean up your room. And you didn't want to clean your room. That is what I compare a riot to. You're getting so tired, you just say, fuck it. Fuck it. Whatever it is, if you don't care, I don't care. Hey, you know what I'm saying? So peaceful protest, to me, is like, hey, honey, can you take out the trash? See how soft my voice was? Hey, baby, can you take out the trash? All you gotta do is say it once or twice. And you know what? Guess what? They take out the trash because they want peace within their household. Sometimes, well, most time you catch more honey, you catch more bees with honey than with vinegar. Because the bees, they gonna go after the sweet stuff. They don't want to go after the other stuff. Sometimes you have to be sweet to get your message across. Sometimes you just gotta say fuck it. Just say fuck it. Excuse me. Both ways are effective. Both ways are effective, but it's all about how you go about it. It's all about how you want to give your message across. Like my late mother, Lavonne Enterprises, everybody know she's the queen of STL internet radio. Those who don't know about my background, so my mom used to do talk radio stuff. One of the first women in St. Louis to do it. Hopefully I get to get the crown as the princess of STL radio. So enough about me. So my mother was also a professor. So the one question, Facebook status, I never forget it. Are you Malcolm or are you Martin? I chose Malcolm because, yeah, you could be peaceful. Yeah, you could be meek, humble, kind. But sometimes your nerves gonna get 8 times stomped to the point you be like, forget it. By any means necessary, it's kind of like saying, if there's a will, there's a way. So that's why I picked Malcolm, because Malcolm tried the peaceful stuff. Malcolm tried to be with the Nation of Islam until he discovered that the leader was a big fat fraud. Malcolm was killed because his own people were big fat frauds and just making up their own rules just for the fuck of it. Martin was shot because he was touching on a gold mine, and they just wanted that gold mine to be like, let's keep it a secret. And it was allegedly that Martin Luther King was trying to run for president. So with that being said, as my late mother is saying, are you Malcolm? Or are you Martin? Or are you Malcolm? Me personally, I'm more Malcolm. Sorry, but not sorry. Action causes a reaction. Reaction causes consequences. Consequences always come with each action, good, bad. Karma is a motherfucking bitch. Karma don't care about your color. Karma don't care about your gender. Karma don't care about how rich you are. Karma don't care how poor you are. If karma want to come, karma going to come. And that's facts. So with this whole thing going on with George Floyd, I wasn't surprised. Part of me didn't want to talk about it, but part of me just wanted to give my opinion, my hindsight on it. Because I do like to use my platform to speak about serious issues. Now I can joke around. I can make jokes. And it's like, believe it or not, I have a few topics that I want to talk about, but I don't know how to present the topic, or if my energy is not right, I'm not going to go live. I'm going to go live when my energy's right, and my energy was right about the whole racial solidarity stuff going on with George Floyd. Rest in peace. I'm so sorry, but not sorry, but Minneapolis is nothing but Ferguson 2020. This is why St. Louis is not surprised at the whole thing going on with George Floyd, because we saw it several years ago with Mike Brown. You remember that time that we torched the shit out of a quick trip on West Florissant? And it was only publicized because Young Jeezy was at a concert. He took a picture right in front of it. Looked like he trying to get street cred and shit. I do like Young Jeezy, but you get what I'm saying. The only reason that Quitter was publicized was because Young Jeezy took a picture in front of a motherfucking Quitter. Guess what? In Minneapolis, they fucked up a police station. Ooh, and they torched the shit out this apartment building in Minneapolis. Boy, nah, we both burnt down some AutoZones. I don't know what is it about AutoZone, just keep on getting burnt up. AutoZone must got a few $1 million insurance on it, because every time a riot and stuff go on, AutoZone is the first thing to get burnt up. Not O'Reilly's, not your local mechanic office, your mechanic center. AutoZone be getting burnt up. And it's not a joke, but it's like AutoZone always getting burnt up. But let's say Louis burned down a police station. Let's say Louis burned down County Brown in Clayton. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying that I'm going to do it. But I'm just giving you a different scenario, comparing it to the whole Minneapolis stuff that's going on right now. Because St. Louis, we're too familiar with riots. Do you remember the East St. Louis riots? When they was trying to rush black people out of East St. Louis. And you know what? The saddest part is, East St. Louis never really recovered from the riots. All you see in East St. Louis is casinos, strip clubs, churches, vacant houses. Oh, and that's on the same block. I ain't dissing East St. Louis, but I'm just telling you what I see in general. You see strip club and churches in East St. Louis, same block, no lie. Go down the street from Bottoms Up. You're going to see a church that's been there for like ever. And like I said, I told this story before. So when they was building the boat part of Casino Queen, I used to work at a casino. I was working at Casino Queen at the time. So I can actually witness. I can actually tell you. I only tell what I talk about. I talk about what I know. So when they was building the boat part, building the land part of Casino Queen back in 2007, 2008-ish, you seen a lot of St. Louis architecture. You seen a lot of St. Louis scenery. And somebody from the east side was like, why you see all St. Louis stuff, all them Jimmy stuff? I said, because y'all have no landmark. The only landmark y'all got is old churches and strip clubs. I'm just saying. Even the police are like security guards in East St. Louis. The mayor was crooked as fuck. I think Alvin Officer. I know they have a new mayor, but I'm just giving you racism from Minneapolis, St. Louis, and East St. Louis. So I'm just telling you different stuff from my eyes and stuff. So no, I'm not joking anybody, and no, I'm not laughing. It's like there's a lot of irony that's going on. So they on my motherfucking neck because that cop had his knee on George Floyd's neck. How the fuck a person could escape from you? He's cuffed. Why would you want to put your foot on his neck? Jared, I know East St. Louis used to have things. I compare that with the riots in East St. Louis. Y'all just gonna have to watch my life all over again. The man was in handcuffs. Yet you put your freaking knee on his neck. He called out for his mom because he knew it was going to be his last of his days. There's a guy from St. Louis, from Philando Castle, got shot in, I believe, Milwaukee, in front of his girlfriend and his child. They got mad at him about a gun, but the gun was registered to Mr. Philando Castle. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm getting at? So black people, we can fight so much for our rights that we have no rights. It's kind of like you telling a child, shut the fuck up. You have no opinion. Do as I say, not what I do. So with stuff with racism, it's alive, it's well, it ain't gonna stop. Apparently, and I'm just playing devil's advocate, racism makes money. All this riots and stuff going on, you think they're not gonna build some of those buildings back up? But you know what's not gonna be rebuilt? A life. You can't bring George Floyd back. Lives that have been lost between Sean Bell, Philando Castile, Vondera Myers, Mike Brown, Anthony Lamar Smith, Ahmaud Arbery, Sandra Bland. Shit. That one dude that they tied on top of the truck with his eyes popped out in Texas. Yeah, that Negro. Shoot. Old girl who got killed. I forgot her name that fast and I'm so sorry. All those lives that were lost, you can never get back. Fuck a cat having 9 lives. Us as humans, we have 1 life. Like I said, Tupac said in Bomb First. And I remember this one little verse to this day. It's either my life or your life. Well, nigga, bomb first. Bye, let's get high and ride. Oh, how we do these niggas? No, we not gonna cry. I'm a bad boy killer. Jay-Z's died too. Looking out for Mob D. Nigga, when I find you, weak motherfuckers don't deserve to breathe. How many niggas gonna die for me? Yay. So, how many people are willing to die for you? How many people that you're willing to die for? And with that being said, please be honest with yourself. Are you willing to die for somebody? Just like how Jesus died for our sins? Or are you just going to sit there and let the next motherfucker die and feel guilty about, like, I should have did something about it? Russian roulette. Rush and roulette. Every day we breathe, every day we talk, we are playing Russian roulette with our lives. If you're tired and you don't want to help your community, help yourself first before you help your own community. And with that being said, I'm going to have to end this episode. So, I'm going to close this in true Red Cup Chronicle fashion. If you got a job, raise your red cup. If you try to make $1 out of 15 cents, raise your red cup. Paying your bills every day during this pandemic? Trying to pay your bills every day. Trying to find a way to pay your bills through this pandemic because you're not an essential worker. Raise your red cup. Waiting on unemployment? Raise your red cup. Waiting on your stimulus check so you can be stimulus check rich? Raise your red cup. If you want to say no to racism, raise your red cup. I love y'all. I'll come back in the next 2 weeks or whenever I have fire and passion for another topic. Namaste. Let peace be with you. I love you all. This is the Red Cup Chronicles, and I'm Jay Lavonne.